The Chiefs have been looking to draft young, talented wide receivers to not only give Patrick Mahomes options as he continues to be one of the best quarterbacks in football, but to turn over an aging core with more guys that can continue to get better. And now we've got it set. Xavier Worthy burst onto the scene last year, Rashee Rice the year before. Coming in to the third year of this youth development in the wide receiver position, we have Jalen Royals, Utah State wide receiver, 3-year player at the university. He comes in with multiple different skills at his disposal, and really, he's one of the best immediate fits for a Chiefs offense that we've seen in some time. We're going to break it down for you guys right here on RGR Football. My name is Daniel Harms, senior film analyst, and if you are new to the channel, please hit that sub button right now. We are going to dive into some Jalen Royals tape. I'm excited to bring you guys that because I've been talking about Jalen Royals for a long time now, and I want to get you guys informed even more about one of my favorite prospects from this past class. So please bear with me as I get this all set up for you guys, but let's go ahead. Let me earn a like from you as we dive in without any further ado here. So Jalen Royals is not just a guy who's going to come in and play in the slot, be a power slot for your team. He plays outside, inside, or played outside and inside for Utah State. And I know it's a different league really for Utah State playing against even USC or bigger and better opponents. But what you see from just the little doses here and there is that he's a nuanced player from the release to the stem to the top of the route and in through the route. He has multiple tools at his disposal here. A little bit of a push release. He's going to push to the outside, move that DB off of his spot. So you see him back up outside, which gives him immediate access to the inside, right? So there it is, that little push release right here. He pushes right outside. So push. We see that DB go to the outside immediately. He gives him a little bit of time right there, that hesitation. Boom, he's inside and he's cut to the middle of the field. We can't see the end zone angle because it's not a great view from this point because the ball was already out. But what you see is the usefulness of the push release with the timing, swims over through, and he's open with access to the middle part of the field. So really nice ability to use multiple different releases from a press coverage standpoint there on the outside. Here we have press coverage on the inside. It's more soft press. For those of you that don't know, soft press and hard press, there are two different types of press coverage you can get. Soft press is where you don't see them come up and jam immediately. Hard presses that come up and be really physical throughout the stem as much as possible. He didn't see a lot of hard physical press at Utah State. I will say he's got good hand usage, but what we want to see again is just the ability to identify different coverages, right? The ability to see quickly how that DB was going to go to the outside. We see he's just free clear here to the end zone, but he's going to go ahead and do a little bit of hesitation. He just kind of very softly comes off the line of scrimmage. We see that again, chop steps, timing. You want to make that DB feel like you could go vertical, go out, or go to the inside. But as you can tell right here, just based off of the defense kind of avoiding the middle of the field, exactly where he wants to go. It was easy for Royals just to get there. A little bit of a quick slant. We talk about quick being more of just that interior access to the middle of the field, and then he has breakaway speed. As we know, he did run a 4.4 at the combine. He's probably a little bit faster than that when he's at full health. But still, 4.4 is more than fast enough. And that was the same kind of speed that, Rashee Rice had, Sammy Watkins had. But look at the little hesitation right there. Just that little juke move at the top, right? Size up, guys. That's one of the things that I really appreciate about his game is that he doesn't overwork. He doesn't get too fast with it because you see guys go through the process too fast. And then he's not doing that, right? He gets off that first defender underneath, and then he knows he's one-on-one. So he squares him up just real quick, right? Gets you going inside, then back outside, and then boom, he beats you back inside, and he explodes away for a big touchdown there. So inside, outside versatility, nuance at the release and at the top of his routes. You see those on tape immediately. And again, the different ways that he can access all levels of the field are one of the reasons he fits into this offense so smoothly and so seamlessly. I know people have talked about raising questions about the route tree. Well, we've seen a quick slant, right? We've seen a dig route. We're going to see another one right here, another dig route. But what you need to understand is that now we see a little bit of off coverage. How are you going to access the middle of the field when you have an inside off coverage defender? It's all based off of manipulation tactics. How can you make that DB think that you're going to go right by him? you want to open the hip. So again, release just slight inside and get up and square. You want the DB to feel like you're going to go by them, especially because if you look at the rest of the defense here, it's not like this corner covering him is going to have all this access and all this help behind him, right? So he has to be aware that if Jalen Royals is going for that out route or he's going up the field in this situation, he has to be able to turn and run, right? So that's what Jalen Royals wants. He wants you to think that he's doing that. So again, inside, release, and then we have the stem all the way vertical, get up to speed, start to press that line of scrimmage. Sorry, not line of scrimmage, but start to press the feet of the DB. You want him to feel afraid that you're going to go over the top. Once you see the hips open, boom. He even got the shoulders too. So he went a step further because he could have broke over the middle of the field. But again, he wants to get down the field a bit more. It is a deeper developing route. So he's able to turn the shoulders and the hips of that DB around. And then he breaks open the middle of the field on that post route. So we've seen him attack the middle of the field. What do the Chiefs want to do? Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, even Hollywood Brown, we go all the way back with all these guys. They attack the middle of the field because that's where the space is, especially against two high safeties where the Chiefs are playing a lot. You're going to see more space available in the middle of the field, and they want to be able to access that. I'm not going to sell him short, okay? Because even though I don't know if he's going to be, if he's up against the Nate Wiggins or some of the elite speed corners in the NFL, how is he going to be able to do it? But I think he has more than enough and speed to attack the deep levels of the field because he can quickly stack DBs. This ball gets thrown just outside of his reach. But again, we have inside soft press from this DB. He's got inside leverage. So again, another thing that you notice about Utah State's splits, right? Look at how much space here. He's basically up against the sideline. You don't want that. You want to give those receivers on the outside some space to work with. But again, it's more just how he presses. He doesn't always come at DBs with 100% speed or always slow. The speed dilation that he attacks with backs them off with, and he's able to use his acceleration to get by DBs downfield in one-on-one situations. Not going to be a lot of times in the NFL where he's matched up with double coverage. So if his man coverage, he's going to be trying to beat one-on-one solo coverage down the field. He can do that. So we see, again, the different speeds, the speed dilation to be able to access, and then he creates some space for himself along the sideline as well, just kind of maneuvering that route down the field and able to really stack quickly and give the quarterback an option to be able to do that, to get the football out if he so chooses quickly. And again, we're seeing a lot of outside, inside stuff already. There is a ton of it on his tape where he's able to play both. This is really where you get to see some of the fun stuff attacking down the field from a slot versatility alignment standpoint, from the deep ball we just saw there. But here we see this route concept becoming a very common one in the NFL, the hitch fade. And it's based off timing for him, right? He wants the quarterback to be able to fake like he's going to throw the hitch. So he gives him just that little bit of hesitation. DB bites a little bit there. Again, you've got this DB coming downhill on this one's more like a screen, but still hitch, curl, screen. You want to move this DB down, right? You want to move him down. So you get a little bit of bite right there from this cornerback covering Jalen Royals. And then it allows the quarterback to throw this back shoulder, right? You don't want to throw it to the safety. So actually a good decision from the quarterback to throw it to the space created from the void left by that outside DB. So we see this a lot, and I think that Patrick Mahomes has become more comfortable in throwing the back shoulder throws, especially in these type of situations. We see Rashee Rice run this a lot, where he's able to access the outside of the field on these fades or just on the outside in general. You want guys that can adjust to the football in the air, and he does a really nice job of that with the hands. He's got very good hands. He's got strong hands, and then the body control, right? You see the ability to get the football there, go to the ground, not take too many hits, unnecessary hits there, knowing he's at the sideline and he doesn't have to turn to get upfield. That's just awareness from Jalen Royals as well. And this is where we're going to get into what he does immediately from kind of a Rashee Rice aspect. So you see here, they got 3-by-2. So we're empty backfield. You have against USC, and they run the choice route with Jalen Royals, who's going to, again, attack that DB inside, go to the middle of the field because he sees that outside leverage, and he knows he can attack it. So the Chiefs do this a lot with Rashee Rice and with Travis Kelce. So a player that can exploit space, that can understand the leverage that is being accessed on him, you like to see those tools. Again, not overcomplicating things, and he's going to attack the inside leverage, right? Knows that he's maintaining closer to this outside when he gets to him, right? He's not trying to over attack to the middle of the field. So he sees that DB while he currently has that inside leverage, the hold when he comes to the middle of the field and squares him up, he stays right there, right? He kind of takes a step inside, but when you're not moving, it's more outside leverage because that's what where you're going to end up, right? So as a wide receiver who's squaring up here, understanding that while this is inside leverage, when you start moving this way, he's going to be on the outside of you no matter what. So nice recognition right there from Jalen Royals to get to the choice route to the middle of the field. And that's where we can see some of the similarities coming through with what he does and what Rashee Rice that he offers in this offense as well. So we have a guy who plays inside, outside, similar body type. He's over 6 feet tall, 205-ish, 15 pounds to 10 pounds, excuse me. He's going to play around that height and that weight for the NFL, excuse me. So you can use him in a lot of the same ways that you can use Rashee Rice. Even, I'm not going to say exactly the same. Again, you see him on the outside. He's that standalone receiver in a 3-by-1 formation that turns into a 4-by-1. Then it turns into a wide receiver screen, right? Where they're just going to take these guys out. He comes back around here, and he wants to access the middle of the field, right? That's what he wants to do. That's what it's designed to do. But he comes in here, right? We have a blocker. All right. He misses that guy. So if I try and come this way, I've got far more defensive attention, right? From here, coming back this way. So he's going to reroute. He stops, he sinks this along with the ankle flexibility to kind of get in and out of his breaks very quickly and explosion, right? That explosiveness that he offers. Boom, stops inside, outside move. We see how quickly he can do that. So I really appreciate him, again, from a fit standpoint, how seamless it is, because we know the Chiefs do want to eventually bring the deep ball back. He does offer that. But right now, if we know the way the Chiefs are going to end up playing, they want more yards after catch. So Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Jalen Royals can all give you some of that right now in this offense. And my apologies for starting that before you guys knew where he was lined up here. Down at the bottom of your screen on the outside, this is another part of playing in this offense in terms of you have to be able to line up everywhere. You have to understand the coverage in front of you. You also have to be able to identify zone coverage. So you see here, again, he's stopping in the middle of the zone, knowing where that space is going to open up. He knows where he has to stop. Boom, he stops, turns, and he presents to the quarterback all the time. He is very good at presenting to the quarterback, becoming an option. But this is what we like to see. They're going to flare, running back out. They're going to take this guy down the field, and when he clears, boom. This is exactly where you're going. So tight end clears out right there underneath. He goes up and over, excuse me. So he stops there to the middle of the field. Had that a little bit wrong. So he's kind of clearing out here. That defensive player is going with this guy to the flat, right? So you have underneath defense, eyes here, and then eyes on the quarterback right there. So that means there's a void right here for the middle of the field, or this kind of seam of the field on the left-hand side. Jalen Royals, again, knows before the ball is thrown where the defense is going to end up coming at him, right? So he's got eyes here, knows I can just kind of speed up around them. And again, that field vision just shows up in every aspect of his game. There are times where you want him to run through routes a little bit harder, maybe give a little bit more effort in that. It's hard to decipher whether that's just the scheme, because we see that a lot with players like, teams like the Texas Longhorns, even the Oregon Ducks to an extent, where they're just not asked to always give 100% on routes because they know the ball's going elsewhere. But from a yards after catch perspective, you see the field vision and how it works. And he never just looks like it's too hard for him. He just knows what he's doing. And I love watching stuff like this. And again, we talk about splits. This is a lot of space. They're trying to, again, create this, right? The offense wants to create a lot of this to where you have one defender like in space, but it's 3-on-3 here essentially, and then you have one guy out in space. So it's one-on-one situations all the way across. Jalen Royals is at the back of this bunch formation right here, and they're just going to clear out for him. Give him one-on-one coverage with the off-press man. The off man there, and then let him work. So you see here again, it's just split. Basically, just do this. And then, again, it leaves them here with one-on-one with Jalen Royals with the off-coverage player who's going to have his feet not knowing what to do. So he's kind of just condensing space to the outside, and then he gets beat again at the top of the route with that little lean into that DB, and boom, he explodes out past him and really accesses parts of the field. We talk about, I say this a lot when I'm breaking down wide receivers that are good in space, how they can access different parts of the field. It's short, it's intermediate, and it's deep, where he can be impactful for an offense, especially with a creative playmaker and play caller like Andy Reid, who has done a great job of turning Rashee Rice from a downfield weapon into an explosive after the catch guy. We know Xavier Worthy does that, but the different ways that they do access deep parts of the field, and I think the intermediate exploitation is going to be at a forefront for this on that if he's fully healthy. Royals. So we have a guy who can do all the things from a yards after catch perspective, but also he can be a deep threat. I'm not saying he's going to be like this premier deep threat in the NFL, but if he gets one-on-one coverage with the nuance that he has in his routes, the way that he can break in and out of those routes and really get into the deep parts of the field while stacking DBs and manipulating them at the next level, I think he has all the tools to become a very important weapon in this offense, not just for this season if Rashee Rice comes through and he's not fully healthy, ready to go, but for the future. And that's what this comes down to, is that Jalen Royals is going to be in Kansas City for a long time. If he stays healthy, the foot injury doesn't come back to haunt him, because of how perfect of the fit he is. He can win in man coverage. He can win and identify zone coverage. He can be a guy you scheme up plays for. He can attack the deep parts of the field, and then he gets yards after catch. He's tough. He's physical after the catch. And then he can do everything Andy Reid wants him to. So that's why it was such a scheme fit for me, and I would have drafted him on day 2. The fact that they got him in the 4th round is a huge boon to what the Chiefs can possibly do for this offense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of Jalen Royals. Maybe my favorite pick of this draft. We'll kind of have to toss it up between him and Noah Williams, 2 guys that I had very big high bits on for the Chiefs. And if you guys, again, are new to the channel, please hit that sub button right now. Become a member here at Rogue Nation. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I know it's the off season, but we'll continue to pump out as much content as we can for you guys and keep you updated on all the latest things that are happening in Chiefs Kingdom. So please enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. If you're not working this weekend, good job, because enjoy the holiday. Have with your family, and we'll see you guys Tuesday next week for the Q&A. Have a great one.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.